Today, 29th of March 2020, Cucina Povera. So what we're having today is some nice frozen sardines, and they're going to go with some spaghetti. And this is Cucina Povera, is what the poor people in Italy used to eat. And when they couldn't afford parmesan, they used to have crumbs. I'm using some panko ones here. And it has almonds in it and raisins. You could blanch the almonds, but I'm not going to bother doing that. And I'm going to add a bit of luxury with a salsa di noce, which is a walnut dressing or sauce. That's just some cabbage left over from yesterday. That's some ground pepper, olive oil of course, and a bit of yogurt to make the salsa di noce. So here we are, that's the evening meal today, 29th of March. A day when we're told we could be like this for months, who knows. Well, they're telling us on the news it's going to be 6 months before we get back to normal. Well, for older people, people who are retired, I don't suppose there's an awful lot of change. It must be a terrible change though for youngsters who can't go out, can't party, restricted going to work, can't shop much. It must be awful. Pretty awful for everyone, of course. Anyway, pretty awful for Italy with the dreadful news we hear all the time of the numbers of people infected and deaths. So this meal is in honour of the Italians, because this is Cucina Povera. In other words, people who were poor, the sort of cooking they made, because they were short of ingredients. They used just what was available. So things like garlic would be in their garden, raisins which go in it, almonds would be on the trees nearby, and of course pasta. They in fact used crumbs over the pasta because they didn't have parmesan, although I'm going to cheat today and use a bit of parmesan. But the other thing I'm going to cheat with is this rather nice mixture of garlic and walnuts, all ground up, and some yogurt. You don't have to use yogurt, you can use just oil and the walnuts if you wish, but I like a little bit of yogurt, it just extends it a bit. So I'm going to first of all chop this in half a little bit, and then I'm going to put that straight into the pestle and mortar, and I'm going to just mash that up so you can see it's getting nice and mashed. Nothing like a bit of garlic. So Italy, we are thinking about you. We've got several people that we know are connected with Italy, so it makes us think of them. And that's the walnuts in now, so they also get crushed just in the same way. See, they're going down nicely, all mixed in with that garlic. This is a wonderful sauce, goes on anything you like, on spaghetti or even on chicken, fish if you like. I like it on anything. It's a wonderful sauce. Salsa di noce is its name. Bit of olive oil in it now. Not much, probably just a spoonful or so. And just mix that around nicely. A bit of yogurt going in now. Any Greek yogurt will be alright. Don't need much, just a spoonful or so. That'll do. Stir that round. Oh, look at that. I sometimes put a bit of lemon juice, so I'm going to taste in a second. See if it needs any. Let's get a spoon. You should always taste your cooking. It desperately needs lemon. So there you are, nice squeeze of lemon. Oh, lovely. Some people have sieves and things, I don't worry, no pips in there anyway, so that's alright. Adds to the texture, doesn't it? There we are, that's lovely. Oh, that's lovely. Quick taste of that in a second with a fresh spoon, of course. Thinking of not wanting to pass on any weird viruses. Oh, that is stunningly good. Stunningly good. So there it is, salsa de noche. Next we want to prepare the sardines. Rather nice little frozen fillets that I got from a local fish shop. They don't need any treatment at all. The bones have been taken out. In any case, because they're fried, the bones disappear basically. So they're going to go into some panko crumbs, flour, and I don't use egg wash, I use milk, because in this time of short ingredients we don't want to keep using eggs, because with the difficulty getting food from the shops here in Bristol and in England at the moment, it is a problem, because all the people who probably stockpiled also book themselves slots on the deliveries, so no one can get deliveries now, which is ridiculous, but there we are. So first of all, we're going to dip that in the flour, both sides like that. Nothing unusual about that. Nothing in the. I haven't even seasoned the flour. I normally do, but I'm not going to today. There's too much flavour already. And that acts like a glue. And we stick that in the crumbs, turn it over, pat it down well, and there you are. You've got another nice little breaded fillet. How about that? So I'm going to do that with all the rest of them. How simple and how easy is that, eh? People worry about cooking being complicated, but actually this is nice, simple cooking. Nothing hard about it. It's effective, it's simple, and really nice. I think it's a great shame that years ago some schools, or at least I think a lot of schools, stopped teaching cooking for youngsters. And that's why people rely on pizza now and takeaways and burgers and such like, which is not exactly a balanced diet, you know. So there it is. So there you are. Those are the fish all ready for frying. Now, you might remember I said that we also put some raisins into it. So I put the raisins in a cup, and I'm going to put some boiling water on them just to blanch them and make them swell up. You could do it with the almonds as well, but and blanch them and get those brown skins off them. Number one, I haven't got the time this evening, and number two, I have no objection to the skin. If this is a Michelin star restaurant, yeah, we'd want blanched almonds, but we're not a Michelin star restaurant, so no problem. So that's the raisins just going to soften up and puff up with that hot water on them. So before I do the fish, I've got some chili flakes in here and a bit of butter. You may remember I had some cabbage on the side. I'm going to have that as a side vegetable, and I'm going to just saute it in the chili flakes and the butter, and add a few tiny quartered cherry tomatoes. I've now added the tomatoes, and then some of this sriracha, I can never pronounce it, hot chili sauce. Just a little dash to go in on top there like that. Just add a nice bit of extra spice and flavour and contrast to the rest of the food. That's enough, I think. Well, the water for the pasta is boiling now. It's salted water, and contrary to some of the chefs in the on the TV that told you that they shouldn't put oil in it, I put oil in it because I think it does make a difference. It lubricates the pasta and stops it sticking. That's what I like. So there it is. There's the pasta going in the pan now. You may not think that's much, but it swells up quite a lot, and we don't eat much. So here are fish going in. Skin side down first. Lovely. Lovely crispy sardines. Sometimes I'll put a bit of garlic in with the oil. I haven't done this today because there's enough garlic in the salsa de noche. Turn them over. Lovely, look at those lovely crispy sardines, aren't they wonderful? Taste that lovely fresh sardine, oily fish. Oily fish, of course, is very good for you. All that lovely crispy crumbs on top, and the tasty sardines underneath. I say Cucina Povera, cooking for the poor people, but my goodness, I don't think they did badly. Seems to be the way in history that what people ate, like for instance in this country, people used to eat mussels and oysters as the poor people's food, but now of course you can pay several pounds per oyster. The food of the rich people now, whereas before it was the poor people. Same with here. This is you get this sort of dish in a decent Italian restaurant nowadays. It doesn't need much cooking. So there they are, all about done. I'll just check. Nice and golden. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. And you need a tray with tissues on it just to soak up any excess oil. But you can see those are rather nice. Lovely job. Look at those. Absolutely perfect. Lovely. I'm going to put those in the oven just to keep warm for a minute. Spaghetti is coming along very nicely now. Unlike our Italian friends, we tend to have it not quite al dente the way they like it. We like it a little bit softer. I know they wouldn't approve of that, but everyone to their own, eh? So here we have the spaghetti. I boiled it. I'm going to season it a little bit with some pepper. Not too much. A little tiny bit of salt. Not too much. I'm going to put the almonds in just as they are. And I'm going to put a few crumbs in, not all. You could actually toast these crumbs with some garlic and a bit of olive oil or butter, but because I'm using Parmesan as well, which is here, frankly I'm cheating a little bit because the real Povera would have only had crumbs. And then the other thing to do is to put some olive oil in it, and then I want to just stir that around nicely. Isn't that lovely? A mixture of almonds there, and of course the raisins. Nearly forgot those for a minute. There's the raisins, and that all goes in together. I'm just going to put those on the stove just to heat that up because the raisins would have made it cold. So there you go. That's a nice lump of spaghetti on the plate. There we are. Another on the other plate. So there's another nice bits over the top of it. Lovely. The cabbage on the side. Some of these are rather nice bits of fish on top of that. Look at that, isn't that wonderful? It's wonderful. And as usual, it's too much for us, so we just start with that and we have more later if we need it, okay? Right, and put the old lemon on the side, like that. And don't forget that goes with the salsa de noce over the top of that. And there you have a Cucina Povera tea. Doesn't that look lovely? There's the salsa de noce, and there's the meal for two with some left over. Gosh, that was nice. By the way, my wife tells me my Cucina Povera is wrong. It should be Cucina Povera. She can speak better Italian than I could ever do.